Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do follow Dave Ramsey's zero-based budgeting and cash flow planning, so I like to do different budget videos with you, and I've created this free template for all of you. So if you want to have access to it, I've had several of you already I've already emailed you the template. So basically you can email me here privately on YouTube or on Facebook at Enjoying Life's Journey. Private message me with your email address and I'll send you a copy of the template. But I did have a few people have some questions about how to use the template. So I wanted to kind of go over basically how you would set this up for those who are just now getting it. Also, if you're not familiar with the channel, I do make other videos on goal setting. I share some of our personal and professional and finance goals and health goals and things like that, as well as a little bit about our minimalist lifestyle. So if you're interested in any of those, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I do put out a new video. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So basically what I've done is I've just created this base template. So what I encourage you to do is fill out one of these first before you copy and paste this for other months of the year, and that's going to save you a lot of time. Try to budget out a few months at a time, and this is really going to allow you to see foreseen expenses that may not be a monthly recurrence. Okay, so first I'm just going to go through the template here and tell you what each of the areas are, and then I'm going to show you how to edit it to make it personalized for your individual situation. So the first thing we have here is the month, so you can change the month however, whatever month you're on. So up here we have our sources. So where is it coming from or who is it going to? Okay, we have our budgeted amount. So here we're going to do the month budget. So we're going to budget out for the whole month. And then you can budget out per week. I like to do per payday. So I have on here 5 paydays. I wanted to give you enough space so that if you did get paid, like my husband gets paid every Wednesday, so some months he has 4 paydays and some months he has 5 paydays. So if you get paid every other week, then you only need 2 of these. If you only get paid once a month, if you own your own business and you have a different pay schedule, how you pay yourself, then obviously you can adjust that accordingly. So I wanted to give you enough there. Then what these do is they actually add up and then they'll show you what you actually spent. So let's go down what each area we have. So our income, so obviously you could edit this. I gave 4 spots. If you need more spots, you can always right click and then insert a row if you needed more, okay? And so basically you just put, my job or whatever you want to put on there, however you want to do it. Usually what I do is I have, my husband's work, and then I have his overtime, and then I'll have my business, and then I might have on here miscellaneous, like if we sell something online or something, like if we sell things at a garage sale or on Craigslist or something like that. So that's just to give you an idea. So income, you could plug in what your sources are. I have here pay yourself first. So this is a goal percent based on T. Harv Egert's The Secrets to a Millionaire Mind, and he recommends, obviously you can follow any percentage that you like. Dave Ramsey has a bunch of percentages on his worksheet as well, but I liked these because they are in relation to what my goals are. So you can change these, but basically your financial freedom, this is like your future investing for retirement. You have your long-term savings. I put to be spent. So this is things like your emergency fund. So this is a long-term savings, but it can be spent on emergencies, or if you're saving for a down payment for a house, if you're saving for a vacation, if you're saving for furniture, things like that. So this is long-term savings. And then education for the adult. So whether you're doing self-education or college or something like that, basically your personal development, whether it's professional or personal, whatever that is, have education here. So he recommends 10% each, so basically 30%. So this is basically helping you to grow. And so the next one is giving, so 5% towards giving. Again, if you're used to already doing like a 10% tithe to your church or something like that, then obviously you can adjust numbers there. So I have on here gifts and donations, so depending on what we're doing, we want to make sure we're covering birthdays and holidays and things like that. Now this little asterisk here, the reason I put that there is this is a little indicator saying that this would be a good expense to use cash for. So if you want to use Dave Ramsey's cash envelope system, or if you just know you want to use cash, you can use that. We have recently started using just several checking accounts, so it's kind of up to you. But our next area are our necessities or our debt. So I just put, so our goal is to have our necessities down to 55% of our income or less, and our goal is to have our debt down to 0. So I went ahead, those are just goals again. I went ahead and left debt blank. You can fill in whatever you have. And then I have just some of the basic necessities. These are basic necessities that we have, or other ones that I could have, that I thought of that you might have. So again, you can edit these. So this could be rent or your mortgage, renters or home insurance, your electricity, your water, sewer, trash, cell phones, internet or cable, groceries, health insurance, personal care, household, car gas, car insurance, car maintenance, car registration, roadside assistance, kids commission jobs, pet care. So those are some things. If you have other things like monthly subscriptions, Netflix, or magazines or something like that, you could add that in. And then our last area is doing 10% for fun. So this is money that you want to spend. If you have that 10%, you want to spend it every month enjoying your hard working money. And these are some categories. I have eating out, events, his pocket money, her pocket money, and vacations. So these are basically like just to get you started. Over here on the side, again, I have different areas. So you can say, you can keep track of how much cash you have. So what I would do is, you know, say I had $50 for gifts, I would put that here. So I have $50. I would line it up with my gifts and say I have $50 in cash for gifts. This is just so I can keep track of what I have. You have a checking account and a savings account. Obviously, you can change these to different names, or if you want to add more, you do the same thing I showed you earlier. You would right-click, you would insert, this one you would insert a column, and then you could change that up. And savings. And then basically, this is your goal or your balance. Okay, so up here, what is your savings goals? You know, what are you trying to reach? Or if you are, if you have a debt, what is the running balance? How much do you owe on it? And the last one is I put due and schedule. So if it has a specific due date, or you've set it up to come out automatically, what is that specific date? The other thing is, if it is a goal, when do you want to achieve it by? Okay, so that's kind of what I put on here for you guys. So I hope you guys use it. So real quick, I'm just going to show you how you could set it up for you. So again, your month, all you're going to do is click in the month thing, and then you're just going to delete it. And we're going to go ahead and say we're going to budget out May. Okay, and we're just going to say Jackie's work. Okay. Let's say I've been averaging, you know, $2,000 a month, okay? Let's say each paycheck. So if you guys want to know, I share my real numbers with you guys. So if you want to check out my other budget videos, then you can see real numbers that are more realistic. But I just want to show you how to use it. So basically, you would just say, okay, you know, okay, I get $2,000 a month. And usually, you know, let's say each paycheck's $250, right? So I would just start plugging that number in here. It will start to do the math for you. If you notice here, you have these pound signs. If you want to open that up, all you do is go onto the top of that column and double click, and it will open up, okay? So this may not add up to $2,000. We're just going to say, okay, we get paid $500 a week, if that's the case. If you don't, say you get paid, like I said, say you get paid every other payday, then you would just say, okay, I get $1,000 that payday, $1,000 my second payday, and that's that, right? So that's where that would be. So you would change your month, like I showed you. You go ahead and change your payday. So I get paid every other Thursday. So we're going to say I'm getting paid, say I get paid 5, 10, and 5, 24. Okay, so that's how I would change that. So you guys can, like I said, you can do your pay pairs. So this does it for you. Then you go down here and you do the zero-based budget like I mentioned. So at the bottom, it's telling you that you have $2,000 to tell it where to go, and then you have $1,000 in this paycheck and $1,000 of that paycheck. So you're going to budget those out. Again, I'm not using real numbers, but you know, so you'd go through and you would do that until you had a 0 at the bottom. So let me just show you. So let's say, you know, we said, okay, $200, it would go to savings. Let's say we have our rent is, you know, $8.50, and electricity is $100. You know, you see what I'm saying here? So it's starting to show you what they are, and it shows you have $850. You still need to tell it where to go. Okay, so you just go through and say what are your bills, okay, until you have a 0. Then you'd go week by week, and you'd say, okay, well, I want to do it, say you want to do it evenly, you want to do that even savings across the board. You would say 100 for each, right? So you see here, now you're 200. So this is going to help you do your math. So if you're like, okay, I want to budget $200, but I know I'm doing a little bit out of each paycheck, it would be like that. Same thing, a lot of times with my rent, it will only come out of the last 2 paychecks of the month. So I basically try to divide it in half. So let's just say I'm doing $425 and $425. So then I have my $850. Or say electricity is due at a certain time. You say, okay, I'm going to do that out of just 1 full paycheck. Okay, so this is how you can allocate how it's coming out of each thing. I did this all gray. And then what I do is when it's a month or when it's one that I'm using, I ungray it. So I would highlight it, right click, and then this little paint bucket here, you can just say no fill and it'll open it up for you guys. Okay, so you don't have to have it grayed out, or you can keep it gray however you want, but that's basically how you could change that. Okay, so the idea is that you budget until you have your zeros all the way across the board. Okay, then what I like to do, I've shared this in a few other videos, is within my checking account, I will then put what amount is allocated to what on an up-to-date real-time status. So say I only have $1,000 in my checking account, but I know 100 of that is for savings and I haven't transferred it yet. I know $100 is for my electricity bill and I don't want to accidentally spend it. I'll allocate it over here so I know what it's for. Same thing, my savings, I could say, okay, I have $200 in my savings now, and then I can keep that running total. So once you've gone through and you've filled it out the way that you want, like I said, you've updated these and then you've done the actual budget, then what I encourage you to do to copy and paste this for, try to budget out for a year if you can, or at the very least budget out a quarter. So budget 3 months out at a time. And like I said, this is going to help you see ahead of time what are some bills that you may not have thought of. Do you need an oil change for the car? Do you have, you know, a sewer bill or something that's only paid every 3 months? Do you have some household items that you're running out of? Things like that you can kind of see ahead of time. So every single month your budget should be slightly different to accommodate for the different things in your life. So then what I would do, same thing, if you have fluctuating in paydays like we do, I would encourage you to make 2 of these all the way out. So make 1 with your 4 days and 1 with your 5 days, and then you would copy and paste this and move it over. So what you do is you would left click in the corner here and you would copy it all the way down. Then while it's highlighted, you would right click and you would say copy. Okay, so now it's going to have like these little ticky lines going across. So you can either, it depends on how you want to do it, you can either scroll over to the side and just copy it and paste it right next to it, or you can come down on the bottom, sorry you guys can't see it, there's tabs, and you can click a new sheet, and you can do a new month on a new sheet, okay? So that's going to be however you want to do it. So then you would right click and you go ahead and just do paste, just do the first clipboard with the paper on it, and it's going to give you this. Everything's going to be squished up, so all you're going to do at the top there, like I said, where your columns are, you're just going to double click, and it will open it up. And then you already have your next month's template started with all of your numbers on there. Then all you need to do is update your month, and then maybe update any months. You know, maybe this is a month where you're getting a bonus from work, or maybe you sold some things on Craigslist, so you would update it on there. Or again, maybe you get an extra payday, so you're going to update that. Or you know, hey, you know what, we need to do some maintenance on the car, so I need to adjust some numbers. So maybe I'm going to take some money out of my fund money and make sure I have my expense covered for the car. Okay. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you too. If you want to track what you originally budgeted versus what you actually spent, when you would put, or what you actually made, you would just put, when you change these numbers here, you would not change the budget amount. So let's say this, you actually got you worked some overtime. So let's say you actually made 1,100 instead of 1,000. So it would show, oh, I originally budgeted 2,000, but I actually made 2,100. Same thing here. Say you went over budget on your groceries. Say you budgeted, $100 and you actually spent 150. Then you're gonna know, hey, I went over budget. So that's something that you can take note of in the future. I no longer keep this there. I use the budget category to help me with some of my math and telling my money where to go. So for instance, if I saw here, okay, I went over 150, I would actually change this to 150, and then I would look at the bottom, say it told me I had negative $50, and I would look at another expense and say, okay, where can I take that $50 out of, because I went over budget, but I have no money to cover that. I'm not going to put it on a credit card. I'm trying to get out of debt, or I'm out of debt and I want to stay out of debt. So where can I take it out of? So say I had money in my household. You know what? Sorry, household. I'm not going to buy, some stuff this time because I went over on my grocery budget. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. So keep that in mind. You want to use this as a tool to help you stay on track, kind of manage your spending and to reach those goals. So if you have goals up here that you want to reach, then go ahead, work your budget to make those goals happen. So I hope this helped you guys. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've already picked up the budget template and if you're utilizing it. And let me know what your #1 financial goal is for 2018. I'd love to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.